Keith, it is such a pleasure meeting you.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Mary,
much for
likewise.
sitting with me today.
Glad to be here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first off, huge congratulations on your album, High.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. Now, I did hear a bit of a story, and correct me if I'm wrong. This album actually started out as another album. You fully finished it and realized the vibes just weren't it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that happen frequently?
It's never happened.
Okay. I feel like that would be rough if you make a
It was
full.
very rough.
Yeah. Now, what was that vibe you were kind of going for with this album in particular?
I think it was more about an album that this album just sort of took on a life of its own. Much more than 615. 615, the reason why that one didn't work, quote unquote, was that I was trying something instead of doing something.
Let's go back, let's go back, hit the gas, in a straight line, baby. Hey, what you say, we're never gonna look back now.
Now, there's a song on the album called Wild Side.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this was inspired by Joan Cusack's
Partly.
character, partly,
Yeah.
from School of Rock. Are you a fan of the movie?
Love the movie.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you if you wanted to do Let's Rock, Let's Rock, Let's Rock today. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I
Oh my
know
gosh.
probably too many quotes from that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, then you probably love that scene
Oh my gosh.
with Joan. She's amazing in that.
She's
amazing in
fantastic.
everything she does.
So tell me a little bit about how that was an inspiration for a song on this album.
It's so relatable.
Yeah.
You know, and especially for me, I've lived in Nashville so long now that particularly a lot of Southern girls have that, you know, particularly the ones who are raised in the church, Christian, very straight-laced, and you think that's who they are. They're very well-dressed, they're proper, well-mannered.
Prim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prim. And then on a Friday night after a few tequilas, and it's a whole different person. So I wanted to capture that in a song.
Yeah.
I wasn't always like this, you know. I wasn't always wound this tight. There was a time when I was fun. I was funny. I was. But you can't be funny and be the principal of a prep school.
I had the title Wild Side, and it was really about that kind of girl.
Yeah.
And then I thought about that movie, and when I was explaining to the writers, I said, you know the scene in School of Rock with Joan? She's that kind of a girl.
Okay.
So it's got to have that reckless, wild, big chorus where she's up on the table singing Edge of 17, and it's just, you know, the chorus has to hit like that.
Yes, where it makes anybody kind of lose their inhibitions and just
Anybody,
really,
yeah.
oh man,
Yeah.
I love that. That's so amazing.
Gotta hold tight to be a mile high. She's bringing out her Alabama delicious supernova till the night is on the wild side.
Now, you're coming up to a 10-show residency in Las Vegas, correct?
Yeah.
What is it like knowing that you kind of have a home base?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
'Cause it's always different.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
This will be our third residency in Vegas since 2019.
Yeah.
And they're always different. Every venue's different. I resisted doing residencies for years and years because it sounded like an episode of Severance. To me. You know what I mean? I'm like, is this going to be the same thing?
You go into the elevator?
Going into the office.
Yeah.
You know, day after day. I'm like, am I going to hate this? I don't know. Each night, I'm walking onto the exact same stage.
Yeah.
And in an arena or whatever it is. So and I'm playing the same songs I just did last night. So, and the audience is different. Well, they are every night in Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's not that dissimilar to touring,
Yeah.
except I can sleep in one place. That's the only difference.
That's kind of nice.
My bed's not moving.
There you go. You can kind of unpack your suitcase for a
Yeah.
minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you are no stranger to kind of reality competition music shows. You yourself were on one in Australia.
Yes.
We've got The Voice. We've got American Idol.
Yeah.
I recently chatted with Paula Abdul, and I asked her this question: what is it like knowing that you are so kind of key and integral to so many people's careers in the music industry because of that role you played in those shows?
I loved getting to do those. I mean, just working with young artists particularly is exciting because I'm learning just as much as if I've got anything to help, experience or insight, whatever it is. I also am watching a fresh, different way of approaching things. And I'm always learning from that,
See, I love that. That's me with food. Like, you're never going to learn every single thing. You're always going to, every single day, you're going to meet someone who knows something that you don't know or does something a little bit different than how you do
Breaks
it.
every rule you were ever told to follow.
Yes.
They do it completely opposite, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean it's wrong.
There's no wrong.
No, I love that.
Yeah, there is no wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I wanted to talk really, really quickly just about the songwriting process. So I was just at the listening party for this album. You talked a lot about collaborating with people. And I thought the most interesting thing was you talked about going to people's houses and working with people that you've never met before. You talked about the vulnerability there. Like, it's really intimidating. You equated it to a blind date. Is that fun? Is that blind date aspect, does that give you a little bit of like that excitement in your belly, or is it just you're going in and being like, let's see how this goes?
It's all the above.
Yeah.
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 It's a little intimidating, anxious, exciting, nervous, and then, yeah, I mean, for me, it's all those things. It's about, I've learned to just be much more calm in those environments.
Okay. You talked so openly about your kind of journey through life and everything, and how much this album is the kind of that journey through life, the good, the bad, the human experience and everything.
I think it's the two sides of most of us, you know. I think if anything, the album before this one was it was missing the edges.
Okay.
It was missing the other personality.
Yeah.
The other personality of spontaneity, curious, slightly wild. That wasn't on the previous record, and I missed it.
Yeah, the craggly bits on the outside.
The what bits?
Craggly.
The craggly
Does that
bits.
make sense?
I like that.
Yeah.
I'll go with
and
that.
we'll do this with it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, on that note, keep
If
this.
you just said craggly but didn't do this, I wouldn't know what you meant.
You
But
get it,
seeing
right?
Craggly.
Craggly bits. See, now we got
Everyone
it.
knows what that
well,
means.
Keith, let's rock today. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
what
Mary.
a delight. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.